You wrote the script in 5 days. What
Yeah.
was the genesis of that?
Um, I think that's got blown out of style. The press sort of grabbed on that, and it was a bit out of context. There was an initial writing phase of 5 days, which was very much like this fever dream, and it just poured out of me. Then, how it was different than any other process is with that script, we were able to get the movie going. And so the development of the script that happened after that happened while we were making the movie, and I got to rehearse with the actors for 3 months, and we spent a lot of time trying to pull apart the script I had done to see what was making it work, and it was kind of like waking up from a dream and seeing your memories of that dream sort of fade away into pixie dust. There was something about that energy that it had that just sort of held together, and that dream logic, I guess is what it would be, is what kind of made the film unique in its own way and what we wanted to do. So in some ways it changed, but in other ways that initial oomph to get it done was the sort of marking point of the script. I think it came out of just a lot of rage and frustration with what was going on in the world. All my work outside of my film work is environmental work, and it was just frustrating to see how slow we were moving to act to save ourselves and to save our home.
When you finished the script, what changed between that 5-day version and the finished film? What changed most significantly?
I think everything equally. What didn't change a lot was the fever dream, that last 25 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
That was...
Which really is exceptional filmmaking.
Thank you.
Just exceptional.
Yeah, it was definitely technically the most difficult thing me and my team ever did together. It required every department being lockstep together, moving a narrative that happens kind of in real time through a kind of escalating and intensifying nightmare that just takes you higher and higher in sort of its disbelief. And every department, hair, makeup, costume, production design, performance, had to work equally to pull it off.
Do you storyboard that kind of thing?
I didn't, because the camera was so moving. It's an impossible thing to storyboard. What we did is the last 2 weeks of the 3-month rehearsal, we shot the entire film in one take. No costumes, no hair, no makeup. Just the actors walking through a taped off set. And then we cut it together to see how it moved together. So I kind of had a sense when I got to set what the shots would be, but then when you're dealing with real walls and real nature outside windows, everything changes. But that homework allowed us to be pretty prepared when we walked into a set.
So you weren't reproducing the shots that you'd done, you were just using that as a guide, basically?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they reproduced and it worked okay, but then we would run into three-dimensional, real technical issues of how is the camera going to get through that small space that quickly. It was built as a real house, so it wasn't like a Hollywood set where you could fly out walls and do all different types of things. Because when the house starts to decay and come apart, we wanted, lath and plaster and pipes and wires to be behind the walls.
Did you tell the actors going in, this is going to be 3 months of rehearsals?
Yeah.
And they were prepared to accept that?
Javier says that's the reason he took the job.
Wow.
And I think actors actually love to act.
Yeah, I know.
And so I think it was a lot of fun for everyone involved.
How do you work with actors like that? And these are incredible actors. How do you avoid being dictatorial? How much did they teach you?
Yeah.
What's the process over 3 months?
It's a lot of trust. That's the most important thing you can get between you and actor is trust that you're going to protect them when they take chances. Because that's where the good stuff happens, when they really push the edge of emotion and go for it. But I think lots of actors have been burnt, especially actors that have been around a while, and so they start to close up like a flower, and you have to coax them back into the sunlight.
How do you do that?
Well, it's nice that I have a body of work that they can look
Yeah.
at and they can talk to the actors I've worked with.
Mm.
But still, you run into fear, and then it's just a matter of doing anything that works. You just have to figure. It depends. Every actor is their own, creature with their own needs and drives and how they think and psychology. So a lot of it is just trying to figure out how to just get them to relax and do the best work they can. And
One more question for me, then we're going to turn to the
Great.
audience. You said you spent 53 weeks on post-production.
yeah.
Why?
Well, we came back to the edit room without any coverage. There's no wide shots in the film, and that's the filmmaking secret: is you can always cut out to a wide shot when you run into problems. We had to make every moment work in this film because the only coverage we had was these close-ups on Jen. 66 minutes of the film is Jen's face.
Gosh.
And how to keep that interesting and not boring. It's because of Jen's incredible talent, but also where the cameraman had to be in the right place, and the sound had to be working, and the other actors had to be doing the right thing. So it was a constant kind of detail shaping in the edit room. So there's more visual effects in this film than there are in Noah.
Wow.
It's 1,200 visual effects, but you don't see any of them.
No.
And they're
What
all
sort-
about,
like
we
what?
collaged images. We were working on 16 millimeter, which is the size of a postage stamp of information. But we would go in and take sometimes 3 different takes and blend them to create the right shot, because the actor's great in this, but the camera's not there. So the camera's there, and the actors were generally always good. It was usually, technically on our end, it was a very difficult thing to have the camera moving around that fast and being in the right place at the right time at all times.
And then you just stitch shots together, or you...
You actually blend them, so it's like within a shot that you're actually looking at, there could be 3 different exposures going on.
Wow.